Now, I've had a really good question come into me via email, and the question was, in which order should I learn speed reading, memory, and mind mapping skills? Thank you for that question. I'll just start by saying those three skills are extremely powerful. If you want to learn more about them, click on the links below. I've got a few videos there, a few playlists on speed reading, memory, and mind mappings. It'll be great to dip your toes in if you haven't. If you have, then listen up, because this video is for you. These skills, because they're so powerful together, it's worth watching the whole video to understand how it all works and how you can benefit from it. So stay tuned. Which order do we start our memory, mind mapping, speed reading journey? So let's begin. I would first start with mind mapping. And the reason behind that is because we're bombarded with information. Because we're bombarded with information, we don't just go ahead and memorize it straight away. If we start doing that, what's going to happen is that because the information's not organized, we're going to be memorizing for possibly hours on end for no reason. Because what's going to happen is you're not going to know what parts of that information is important, should be memorized, should not be memorized. So you're just going into things blindly if you're just looking at learning memory techniques and that's it, and approaching your content or information or studies, whatever it is that you've got. So number one, I would say mind mapping. And the reason behind that is, again, you need to be able to organize your information. If information is not organized, what happens is you start to forget. So information needs to be organized. You need to be able to group concepts, ideas, thought patterns, everything in the groups they belong. Instead of mapping out or writing out 100-page notes, everything could be just on one mind map. Instead, you've got 5 or 6 different groups, and underneath them, they've got their own subgroups. So it's much more powerful to organize using a mind map. Think of this analogy as well. Let's say you're on a whiteboard, and I put up a whole bunch of dots on the whiteboard, and I say, guess how many dots there are? You won't be able to guess, right? Because it's difficult to try and count that many dots if it's all random all over the place, right? If I did a few, you might be able to. If I did a lot, then you'd just be guessing. But if I did the dots in 6 dots across and 7 dots down, and then filled them in all in an order, then you'll say, that's 6, 7, 42. Do you see what I mean? So it's all about organization of that information. So once the information is organized, then what you can do is start to memorize. So memory techniques should be the second thing that you try, because once you start organizing information, it becomes a lot easier to memorize, right? So even before memorization, I would suggest learn how to visualize the content, because the visualization helps you to learn. Not so much the memorization. Memorization, remember, holds the information in your brain. Doesn't mean you've learnt it. If you've understood how to visualize, then you can start to comprehend and learn a lot better. So visualization, again, it comes with memory training anyway. Once you learn how to train your memory, do the techniques, learn memory palaces, all that sort of stuff, then you're working on your visualization anyway. So learn the memory techniques, and then you'll be able to conquer your content a lot better. And then once you've conquered your content, then go into speed reading. Now, often what I'd say to people is learn speed reading first, because it's such a difficult skill to, master is one thing, but difficult skill to even get going. That's what I usually tell people. But for general studying, do you want to be able to use speed reading so that you can visualize the content better? Because remember, speed reading isn't just reading really quickly. Speed reading is encoding groups of words together so you get an image. Right? So if you've trained your memory, guess what? Speed reading is going to come a lot easier. If you just delve into speed reading straight away, you're going to be in a lot of difficulty, because what's going to happen is you're going to approach the content without knowing how to visualize and encode quickly. So what's going to happen is you're going to go back and repeat, go back and repeat, go back and repeat. And you'll often hear people saying, oh no, I tried speed reading, didn't work. Well, that's because you didn't train your brain. You didn't train your memory. So work on the visual encoding side and then get into speed reading, which is why I say that's a third thing to do. To sum it all up, start off with mind mapping. And this is especially for studies, right? This is fantastic. So start off with mind mapping, learn how that goes. Watch a few of my videos, download software programs for mind mapping. There's heaps out there. I use Xmind. MindNote is another one, great for Mac. Then after you've done mind mapping, get into memory techniques. So I've got a whole heap of techniques on this channel. Go read books, go do courses, coaching, whatever you want. Pump up your memory training skills and your game. And then once you've done that, get into speed reading, and you have those 3 skills, you're going to be absolutely powerful human being. Give that a go. Any questions, feel free to comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.